Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host, LovelyCheesePizza here. My controller's moving on its own, and welcome back to Let's Play some more Gran Turismo 3, the ultimate driving simulator. I have not played this in like a month. I think the last episode that I did of this was when Eric was here, and that was literally like a month ago. So, it feels great to be back in here. I've been dying to play this forever, and now I'm here. My parents are going on vacation to Canada for a few days, and so Michaela and the kids and I are here staying at my grandma's house to take care of her while they're gone. So we're doing it, and so that has afforded me the opportunity to film a few of these while I'm here, and that makes me very happy inside. And I gotta tell you something really quick. So I was scrolling through these while I was getting started up, and it reminded me of my Alteza RS200 that is the spitting image of my Lexus IS300. That's, well, it's not the same color, but it's the same model. And I had to go to AutoZone today to look for a new headlight for that damn thing, because my front right one is like flickering on and off, and it's like not consistently working all the time. And so I was like, well, I should probably, you know, go get a new one. I went and picked up one for my Honda a long time ago, and it was basically like you hand them like a half of a cheeseburger and some dental floss, and they'll give you a new one, because those things are fucking cheap. So I was like, yeah, I'll go pick one up, no big deal. I went in there with my dad, and we didn't see it on the shelf anywhere, and we were looking in like their big manual of, you know, the big old ass book full of like every, you know, make and model of car ever made. That says, oh, this is the one that you should buy. And we couldn't find it anywhere, and so we went and asked the guy. We're like, hey, we're looking for a headlight for a 2004 Lexus IS300. And we didn't see anything on the shelf anywhere. He's like, well, let me look it up. He's like, oh yeah, just so you know, those things per headlight are $109.99. We're like, whoa, jeez, man. He's like, yeah, they're kind of spendy. He told me the reason why. Like, they're a certain kind of light that are obviously way higher quality than what you would find in a 1993 Honda Accord. So I get it. He's like, hey, you know, the ones for my Lexus definitely cost $169.99 each. It's like, fuck, man. The one downside of having a car from a luxury division is that everything's got to be extra expensive now all of a sudden. So, got to forgo that one for a little bit. Not too pumped about it. So I'd rather not get pulled over by a, by a wise man of the cloth, which would be a priest, and not a police officer, a man of the or woman of the Justice Department. Maybe justice in the church, a man in the cloth, but whatever. So, a couple of stories to tell you about. I got a good one. This happened like a month ago, so it would have been time appropriate had I, you know, jumped in the booth at the time, but it is not. And you can kind of see like a little bit of the residual evidence of this happening. I forgot this is a 10-lap race, but we'll blow through it pretty easy with our GT40, and that'll be nice. So, like a month ago, we had a barbecue over at Colby's house, over my friend Colby's house, which, by the way, shouts to him. He and his wife, Nikki, both graduated from college just a few days ago, so congrats to them. Awesome guys, super proud of both of you. That's super, super cool. So, anyways, so we were over at their house having a barbecue, and we were out in the backyard, and we were playing this game, and I don't know what the hell it's called, but the premise of the game is that you've got, it kind of reminds me of like horseshoes to an extent. Like you have, instead of having the horseshoe pit, you have these two kind of like garbage bin kind of things, and it's got an open top on it, and you have a frisbee, and you're trying to throw the frisbee and either make contact with the bin, or you're trying to, you know, make the frisbee go into the top of the lid, or this little slit that's about that big. And if you can make it into the slit that's that big on the front end of the container, then the game is immediately over. So it's a pretty harrowing experience, and the percentage is really low, because let's be honest, most people that don't play Ultimate Frisbee for a living are not great throwers of the old round disc of doom. And And so you just go back and forth, just throwing it, you know, down there, and your partner either tries to guide it towards the bin, or he tries to like slap it in so that it hits the top. And so we're playing, and Matt and Colby, or no, Matt and Huss, Matt and our friend Robert, we call him Huss, his last name's Hussman, they had just hit their 21st point, and so we had the chance to tie, and we had to make it in the top part, because the top part's worth 2 points. And so Colby just rifles this thing at me. I mean, he threw a regular, like, Nolan Ryan, you know, like Dennis Eckersley caliber fastball right at me, but it was a great throw. And so I had all the time in the world. I got, like, in this ready stance for it, and I had my hands up to try to, like, slap it down into the container. And I kid you not, it could only happen to me, but when the thing comes at me and I'm ready for it, I try to slap down at it, and I totally whiffed, and it hit me right in the bridge in the nose. And you can actually see a little bit of a mark right above where my finger is. I had that thing, as soon as it made contact with my nose, I thought that I was just going to have a huge-ass nosebleed, but then I remembered I had surgery for that, so I can't actually have nosebleeds anymore. And then it was just really funny. The thing careened off my face and just went like somewhere completely different, and we lost the game. And like, what a way to add insult to injury. It's that you lose the game because you missed a point-blank opportunity to tie the game and go into, you know, extra rounds, and you you lose it because the thing hit you square in the nose. And I ended up having a bruise on my nose for a solid, like, 2.5 weeks. Like, it's still kind of there, and it's just about gone, but man, trying to explain the reasoning behind that to other people, it's like, well, I gotta feel like I gotta come up with a better story than, oh, well, I'm poorly coordinated, sort of, and I got hit in the face with a Frisbee. Really funny, though. We ended up winning the next game, though, so it kind of made it worth it. By the way, we are cleaning house right now. This makes me happy. There's one thing I forgot is when Eric was here on camera, when he did the races with the GT40, he was just penetrating people right through their belly buttons. I mean, it wasn't even close. So it's all good. God, 183 miles an hour, that would scare the living shit out of me. But luckily, I'm never gonna have that opportunity. The highest I ever got any one of my cars, and I've told the story a million times, was 124 miles an hour in my Honda, and it basically felt like, you know, I was walking in, I was like driving in a car that was being sucked in by the apocalypse. The whole thing felt like it was just like panels of the car were being rended as I was moving, so it was not good. So yeah, dude, that was one thing. That was one little story for you. I have another story. It is not related to anything involving me at all, but it is car related. So I figured, you know, it might as well fit into this whole thing as we're just plowing along here. So I read a story, and it's just, the thought process here, yet again, a lot of these stories I talk about, it's always about the thought process involved. I don't know why this would have been the choice of all the ways to go about this particular task. This has got to be one of the least appropriate. I don't know, like any of them are, but you'll see what I mean in just a minute. So this guy, he decides one night he's going to take his family out to dinner. He'll take the wife and the kids out to dinner. God knows where they went. Maybe they went to like Chuck E. Cheese or or, you know, Olive Garden, where they had to wait in line for like 37 hours to get food that was basically tossed in a microwave, more or less. And it is still really good, though. I'm not going to say just because it's, you know, food that came in a bag and they just reheated it because it was already pre-made. Does not mean that it does not taste good, because God knows there's plenty of microwave dinners that are exactly that and they taste delicious. But so this guy takes his family out to dinner, and you know, they're having a gay old time out there. And then the guy just decides that he's going to excuse himself, presumably, you know, lying to everybody, saying, "Hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom, I'll be right back." And they're just like, "Okay, well, let me go back to having my, you know, chicken fingers with whatever else the hell was on it. You know, maybe like a cow brain and maybe like a pig intestine." We don't know what kind of place this was. They didn't say what restaurant it was, I don't think. So, I mean, it could have been some sort of weird backwoods nightmare where that was just something that they were going along with. Yeah, come here to Tuscan Bob's nightmare shack. We'll have some pig eyeballs, and we'll have some frog intestines, and who knows, maybe we'll have your dog's tongue. So this guy ends up going out to his car, and he fires up the car, drives that thing around to the front of the building, and drives through the front of the building right into the table where his family was sitting and killed them all. That's what he did. He's just like, God damn it, my spaghetti and meatballs! They made it wrong again! I'm gonna kill my whole family! And he just gets into his car and drives right through the front of the building and kills his entire family. I don't understand it. Like, of all the ways that you could, like, he wasn't even trying to get away with it in a coy way. Like, he wasn't trying to do one of those things where it ends up on forensic files later, like, this man almost committed the perfect crime, but the only thing that was linking him to the crime scene was a piece of fiber from his Lee dungaree pants and one of his own pubic hairs. And no, it was like, the dude just like, oh, I'm going to take everybody out to a public place where I'm going to have you right in the public eye, and I'm just going to drive our family vehicle right through the wall of this building and kill you all right in front of everybody. Because, you know, it's not like people are going to look at that and be like, I don't know, seems pretty questionable to me. I mean, it's not like people are going to treat that like a Casey Anthony thing where all the evidence points directly to you and somehow you get away with it. I actually watched a documentary on that just like a week or so ago, because I didn't really follow the Casey Anthony case while it was going on. I was pretty blissfully unaware of that entire thing, and so when I actually sat down and watched it, and to find out that she, like, I knew she got away with it, like, I knew that she was, you know, found not guilty on literally just about everything outside of her going to jail for like 10 days or something like that, which is criminally ridiculous. But I didn't actually get to see the rest of everything else. How in God's name did she get away with that? Like, there is no freaking way that should ever happen. And the crazier thing is, like, her mom is so wildly delusional that it's just astonishing. Like, she is at, like, Hillary Clinton levels of delusion. It is nuts. And, like, she basically has convinced herself that her daughter didn't do it, even though if you're just, like, if you sit down for 5 minutes and read everything, it's like, yeah, she totally did it. Her dad knows that she did it. Everybody else knows that she did it. God, even Casey knows that she did it. And she got away with it. Man, that's fucking crazy, man. That is a bizarre bag of turnips that somehow she is just living somewhere else now, scot-free, no kid, just living the life that she supposedly wanted to live. I don't know what the hell you'd want to have a kid and then kill your kid to feel like your life would be better, man. If one of my kids died, I would not even be able to function. I really wouldn't. That would be the worst. So, you know, let's just not have that happen. But, oh, shit. I looked away from that for a second, and then I almost paid the price. I'm about to lap somebody. That makes this well worth it. That's usually something that doesn't happen unless we're in an endurance race, which we're going to have to deal with one of those at some point in the near future, and I'm going to have to figure out how we're going to put that together, because I know that a couple of them are long, and I mean they are long, they are strong, they are down to get the friction on. So ladies, yeah, you want to roll in my Mercedes? And the answer is yes. The answer was absolutely yes. I mean, even white boys got a shout because baby got back, as Sir Mix-a-Lot has aptly told us many, many times over the years. And so that's just the way it is. I really need a drink of this root beer right now. Fantastic. Oh boy. Okay, man, my tires are going on this bad boy. It is no good. This is such a weird looking car. Not from the front perspective. This back end of this car is so weird looking to me. It's so bulky and just, I don't know, with the weird like vent, like the 3 different packs of vents that it has there are really bizarre to me. Having the exhaust in the middle, I've always thought is a weird look for any car. I'm so used to cars having them on like the bottom right, or having dual, you know, I think dual always looks the best, having one, you know, either having two down in one corner or, you know, having one on either end, like, you know, weird skewed nipples or something, because I'm a man of symmetry, and, you know, I just think that looks better that way. But, I mean, not like this isn't symmetrical, because it totally is. I just don't like the way that it looks, personally. It's just a strange dynamic, and I'm not a fan. But, yeah, what do you do? It's definitely a supremely overpowered vehicle for who we're up against right now. There we go. Yeah, we're making it happen. I know this is, as far as quality of my driving in this episode, it's kind of left a little bit to be desired. Not like it's a big problem or anything, because we're literally ahead by like 30 seconds. But, you know, we'll get back into shape. I feel like when you don't play a game, and regardless of what it is, for about a month when you've been playing it consistently, you're gonna be a little bit rusty, just a tiny bit rusty Shackleford. And but you know, it's all right. 47.9. That's pretty good. It's tremendous. It's tremendously good, says Donald Trump. Let's see, what else? I had another thing I was going to talk about, and I forget what it is. What was it? I had something in mind that I was going to say, and I totally have forgotten. And that really sucks. What was I going to say? Huh. I don't remember. I really don't. And that bothers me. So we'll just keep moving here. We only got a couple laps to go. Oh, you know what? I do remember what I was going to say. I do remember. Wait, no I don't. I just had it and I lost it. This is what's going on. Being off camera for a while, it's kind of giving me like stage fright a little bit. Kind of forget what the hell I'm even talking about. There was a movie that I just watched the other night that I was going to talk about because it was really cool. And now I don't remember what the hell it was. Shit. It was on Netflix too. Oh, son of a bitch. That is really bugging me. Definitely one movie that I watched today while I was feeding Harrison and trying to get him to go to sleep, because he has not been doing very much of that lately. I watched a movie called, it came out in the 70s, I believe. It was called Assault on Precinct 13. It's got, I think it has Ving Rhames in it. I could be wrong. I think it's Ving Rhames. And it's a movie about this like derelict police police building, basically. And you know, they're getting ready to shut it down because they're going to relocate to a brand new one. And so in its last night of operation, there's like one guy, like one officer and a couple of office workers that are in there. And all of a sudden this bus shows up that's got 3 convicts in it. And the guy's like, "Oh, can we you know, store him in your holding tanks? One of them's really sick, and what he has is contagious. So I want to call a doctor so we can get him taken care of before I, you know, get him down to, you know, the main prison." The guy's like, "Oh, all right. I mean, we're not even supposed to be open right now because we're relocating." And he's like, "Well, you know, but I need to do this right now." And so we let him come in. And no later do they put him in the holding tanks than all of a sudden do all of these. And I missed some of the details of this movie because I was taking care of Harrison, but somewhere along the line, all of these freaking street thugs just come out of the woodworks like a bunch of termites and just bum rush this police, you know, precinct. And they're just like, they all have weapons and they're just trying to literally just blow the place down. And so it turns into like this total survival mode type of deal where it's the one police officer, one of the 2 office worker women, and then, you know, 2 of the convicts that they let out of their cells to help them out, you know, to help, you know, have them take some guns and help gun down the waves of just the hordes of these street thug guys. And it's just freaking crazy. It was awesome. It's a great movie. I mean, there's this one part in the movie where like the people just start rushing the joint, and the officer grabs like this big ass sniper rifle out of this container, and he throws like this, you know, it's like this Magnum with a silencer on it, which doesn't even make any damn sense. But it sounded like a silent sniper rifle with the sound effect they used, and this other guy just gets a big ass pump action shotgun, and this other lady's, you know, down in the area where the holding cells are, and she's been shot in the arm, so she's just got like one arm dangling like this with a pistol in the other one, and she's just gunning people down. And they just have this one sequence where they're just, the camera's panning back and forth between these 4 people, and they're just boom, 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 and they keep just showing these people trying to climb in through the windows, and they're just getting shot in like the head and the chest, and they're just getting blown out the windows. It's just so tight. It is a wonderful action sequence. It was so cool. What have we here? It looks important. Ooh, oh, that's a Zonda. Oh, that's awesome. We needed one of these. Yeah, we totally needed one of these bad boys. There's totally a there's a Zonda cup, or I don't even know what the hell it's called, but it is a thing. Where the hell is it? The Italian avant-garde one. It's, you use those the Zonda C12, or yeah, the C12S or the race car, which I think the one we just got was the C12. So that is awesome. I was just thinking about that. I was like, man, am I gonna have to break down and go buy one of these? Let's see, yeah, we got the C12S. Ooh, even better. 543 horsepower. That's awesome. Okay, I'm cool with that. So when we come back, on the next episode of this, we're going to stop it here in just a second. When we come back, I'm going to flip a coin. We're either going to do the Italian Avant-Garde Cup, because now we have a car to do it with, or we're going to do the Elise Cup, because there's one of those also, and we have a Motorsport Elise that we just recently got done using. So both of those can be the thing that we've got. And then there is also the Vitz race, which I'm still super apprehensive on because I just am. But we'll figure that out at another point. So yeah, it'll be either the Zonda or the Elise. We'll figure it out. But until then, my friends, this was awesome. It felt really good to get back in here and do that. I've been dying to finish up that particular cup race. It's been kind of weighing on me for a little bit, and I've just been dying to do one of these because I miss doing it. And I know that, you know, this has been a series that you guys have enjoyed too, seemingly, and so I wanted to do another one. And we are, I don't remember what episode this is. We're only like 1 or 2 away from breaking the record for longest series on this channel. I think this is episode 140 or 141, so we are right there. We are right freaking there. We are 55.9% done, which is actually kind of fool's gold because it's a little bit different than that. Let's save really quick, and then, yeah, so when we come back, we'll have more stuff to talk about, my friends. I've got some more stories in the old vault from times past, so we'll deal with it at another point. So until then, my friends, this is your host, Lovely Cheese Pizza, saying thank you guys for stopping by and watching. I'll catch you.